Dr. Karen. Thank you so much for writing in about Tucker. You're absolutely right, and patellar luxation is relatively common in Dachshunds, and that's because of those short, bowed little legs. If you were to look at the x-ray of a Dachshund's limb compared to that of like a Husky or say a German Shepherd, for example, you would see just how bent and rotated their little legs have become through breeding. And this means that a lot of the anatomy of the joint is sort of out of whack. So it's not uncommon for the patella or kneecap to be sort of pulled out of position. For some dogs, the patella is permanently locked out of place, while for others it might just pop out occasionally, resulting in sort of a sudden, skipping, hopping kind of lameness. Most of the time, dogs seem to be more startled by this rather than it being an overly painful situation. But over time, inflammation can build up, leading to degenerative changes in the joint and early onset arthritis. In mild cases, which we call grade 1, where the patella is only a little bit mobile, conservative treatment, including weight management, joint supplements, and mindful exercise, are usually enough to keep the problem under control. But as the severity of the condition increases from being a bit more mobile, like grade 2 patellar luxation, to one that is permanently dislocated, which is the case in a grade 4 patellar luxation, then surgical intervention is usually recommended. There's a few different techniques that are used to basically replace the patella back to where it should be and keep it there. And I've attached some articles down the bottom so you can have a little bit more of a read up about patellar luxation and the surgeries that are involved. The other problem that you're probably also familiar with Dachshunds is that they are prone to something called intervertebral disc disease, or IVDD for short, where the cushioning discs between the vertebrae sort of erupt and push against the spinal cord, which results in pain, weakness, or paralysis. And this is an extremely dangerous condition, and one of the main reasons that I would never delay having a Dachshund examined by the vet if they're showing any signs of lameness. I would always rather be safe than sorry. So I would be booking in a physical examination with your vet so that they can make an official diagnosis, and then you can come up with a plan for where you're going to go from there. Or if you would like to speak to a vet one-on-one from home, you can book an appointment at pangovet.com. But at the end of the day, Tucker is going to need to have a physical examination. So the tips that I mentioned earlier, like weight management, joint supplements, and taking care with the type of exercise that Tucker is doing, these are things that I really recommend for all dogs, but particularly with our long-backed, short-legged Daxies. Good luck.